Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti.
अखेति मत्वा प्रसभं यदुक्तम् हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति अजानता महिमानं तवेदं मया प्रमादात् प्रणयेन वापि यच्चावः सार्थमसत्कृतोऽसि विहारशय्यासनभोजनेषु एकोऽथवाप्यच्युत तत्समक्षम् तक्षामये त्वामहमप्रमेयम् पितासि लोकस्य चराचरस्य त्वमस्य पूज्यश्च गुरुर्गरीयान् न त्वत्समोऽस्त्यभ्यधिकः कुतोऽन्यः लोकत्रयेऽप्यप्रतिमप्रभाव तस्मात् प्रणम्य प्रणिधाय कायम् प्रसादये त्वामहमीशमीढ्यम् पितेव पुत्रस्य सखेव सख्युः प्रियः प्रियायार्हसि देव सोढुम् अदृष्टपूर्वं हृषितोऽस्मि दृष्ट्वा भयेन च प्रव्यथितं मनो मे तदेव मे दर्शय देवरूपम् प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास किरीटिनं गदिनं चक्रहस्तम् इच्छामि त्वां द्रष्टुमहं तथैव तेनैव रूपेण चतुर्भुजेन सहस्रबाहो भव विश्वमूर्ते श्रीभगवानुवाच मया प्रसन्नेन तवार्जुनेदम् रूपं परं दर्शितमात्मयोगात् तेजोमयं विश्वमनन्तमाध्यम् यन्मे त्वदन्येन न द्रष्टपूर्वम् न वेदयज्ञाध्ययनैर्न दानैः न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रैः एवं रूपः शक्य अहं नृलोके द्रष्टुं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीर मा ते व्यथा मा च विमूढभावः दृष्ट्वा रूपं घोरमीदृङ्ममेदम् व्यपेतभिप्रीतमना पुनस्त्वम् तदेव मे रूपमिदं प्रपश्य सञ्जय उवाच इत्यर्जुनं वासुदेवस्तथोक्त्वा स्वकं रूपं दर्शयामास भूयः आश्वासयामास च भीतमेनं भूत्वा पुनः सौम्य वपुर्महात्मा
Clarification. Ramesh Khanna, please help me understand the sun moon, and direct path. Where is this? It's not it's a general question, no? It's not pertaining to what we are studying now.
You said this last.
Ramesh,
Yes.
from where did you come all of a sudden?
No, I've been there every week.
Huh?
Every week I'm there.
Hmm. No, I didn't see him for 25 years and suddenly I saw him today. So I'm asking from where did you come all of a sudden? I saw him in 1992 and I'm seeing him again in 2014. Huh? 24 hours. Where are we now? Ramesh Khanna, what is your problem? Son of the, what are you saying? Son of the moon, moon of the path, something you are saying. What are you saying?
Path.
Path of the moon,
Sun, moon, direct.
direct path. There are various consequences to your actions. You perform an action, those actions have various consequences. Those consequences to the action is called gati. In Sanskrit, the path is called gati. That's why when somebody passes away in this culture, we will not say RIP. We will say Sadgati. We will not say RIP. RIP, rest in peace. Because that person is not going to rest in peace. Another Janma, it's moving on. Therefore, what do we pray for? We pray for Sadgati. Gati means the path. So that path is nothing but the consequences of your actions. If you have led a full selfish life, what will be the gati? Durgati it will be. That Durgati is called path of Naraka. That we don't talk about it at all. Why we don't talk about Durgati, the path of Naraka at all? Because what is the point in talking about Naraka to a person who's already in Naraka? So people are in Naraka already. People are in suffering and pain and misery already. Therefore, selfishness have led to this Durgati. From Durgati, we talk about changing the direction. When you change the direction, there are various grades again. What is the various grades? One is the path of the moon, another is the path of the sun, another is the direct path. Now, what is path of the moon? Path of the moon is also called as the path of return. The path of the moon is also known as the path of the return. Meaning, you do lot of punya karma, unselfish actions, but you are not interested in your spiritual evolution or anything. You are interested in helping somebody. Somebody is suffering, you want to help somebody, you do a few things, you do all that, you gather a lot of punya, you go to Swargaloka. That is the path of the moon. You go there, you exist, you will be there for a while and come back. That is path of the moon, where when the consequences of your unselfish actions are exhausted, when the punya karma is exhausted, you will come back. That is one path. There is another path called the path of the sun. What is path of the sun? It's bright. Brightly lit, it says. Path of the sun means it's brightly lit. Path of the moon is also called dhuma. Path of the moon is also called dhuma. Dhuma, you understand, no? You go into a small room and full of sambrani you put. No? Full of sambrani you put. In some places, what is that weather? Misty, small, misty. You can't even see the person next to you. Somewhere you are walking. Yeah, foggy. Correct, foggy. Full foggy dhuma. It's called the full of Somewhere you are walking, you are not falling and tripping, but you are not actually, you really don't have a clarity about anything. That is path of the moon. And then comes path of the sun. What is path of the sun? You are a very sincere spiritual seeker. You wanted to do Chitta-Shuddhi, you want to gain liberation, moksha, etc. And you are doing this and you are practicing the spiritual path. In between, you slip. In between, you slip into unselfish actions. In between, you slip into unselfish actions. Are you able to follow? When you slip into unselfish actions, those unselfish actions are gathering a punya. Those punya you have to exhaust before you attain enlightenment. Therefore, what happens? Sadhana you would have finished. Punya karma is waiting to exhaust. So you go to a place where you exhaust all the punya karmas. From there, moksha straight. You don't come back. That is called the path of the sun. Also called as Brahmaloka. Te Brahmalokeshu Parantakale Paramritat Parimuchyanti Sarve. Kaivalya Upanishad talks about Brahmaloka. Meaning, for all practical purposes, sadhanas are done. But you are not yet enlightened. Why? Because punya karma has to be exhausted. Therefore, what happens? You go to a place, you exhaust the punya karma, and then attain moksha. That is the path of the sun, brightly lit path. Then comes the third path. The third path is what Krishna recommends in the Gita. Very dramatic path this is. A very dramatic path. What is the dramatic path? Forget selfishness, forget unselfishness, forget Swargaloka, path of the sun, etc. Come to me directly. Take to the direct path. Come to me directly. There is a direct path. Even Brahmaloka is one unnecessary stopover, isn't it? It's like Dubai stopover. Unnecessary Dubai stopover it is. Unnecessarily you have to stop over in Dubai for nothing. Anywhere you go on this planet, you have to go to Dubai. I don't know why it is like that, isn't it? Even if you have to come to Chennai also, from Chennai you have to go to Dubai and come back to Chennai. Yeah, that is like that. So that is the path of the sun. Brahmaloka is like that. The correct path of Dubai. Sudhir. That's why we avoid that. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that path of the Dubai thing, isn't it? But it doesn't make any difference because either you are inside the town or in the town, but nevertheless you have to breathe that air. Now what to do? Yeah, that is Brahmaloka. That is the third one, direct path. What is the direct path? You take the flight in Chennai. Wherever you want to go, you can go and land there. Yeah, that is the direct path. Krishna, the Upanishads recommends the direct path. And this direct path should be the ideal. Direct path should be the ideal because there is no need to have an unnecessary detour. Even Brahmaloka, the path of the sun is also a detour. Avoid that. Finally, the direct path is what? From the beginning, the Vedas teach. Even though by mistake you can go into the other two paths, Vedas recommend the direct path. Meaning what? Focus on your Nitya Naimitika karma, focus on your Nitya Naimitika karma, Chitta Shuddhi, detachment, moksha. Focus on what you ought to do. Chitta Shuddhi, detachment, and moksha. You follow Ramesh Khanna? These are the three paths. The fourth one we don't talk about it. It is Durgati. Therefore, one is Durgati, another is Sadgati. In the Sadgati, there are three: the moon, the sun, the direct. Moon means Swargaloka, exhaust the punya and come back. Sun means spiritual sadhanas are done. What is the difference between sun and the moon? Only punya karma, no spiritual sadhana. Are you able to understand the difference? In the path of the moon, only unselfish activities, like a social worker. In somebody suffering, you want to genuinely go and help others, etc. All that you do, but you don't have any idea of self-development. You don't have any idea of Chitta Shuddhi. You have an idea of wanting to help others, which is the path of the moon. But there is no goal or understanding of Chitta Shuddhi. Now, combination of Chitta Shuddhi and Loka Sangraha is Karma Yoga, etc. All that you do rightly, with the right bhavana, or whatever be the guidance, etc., you will be in the direct path. There are a few who fall. Where do they fall? From spiritual sadhana, they fall into unselfishness. And then they go back to spiritual sadhana. From spiritual sadhana, they fall back into unselfishness. They go back into spiritual sadhana. What does spiritual sadhana means? Unselfish activity for Chitta Shuddhi. Unselfish activity is not an end in itself. Unselfish activity is not to correct the world. Unselfish activity is not to help the others. Helping the others is the means to Chitta Shuddhi. That is sadhana. Sometimes what happens, they miss it. Therefore, what do? They do sometimes Chitta Shuddhi, they fall. Sometimes they do Chitta Shuddhi, they fall. So these mixed activities, where it will lead you to? Path of the sun. So because of the Chitta Shuddhi, spiritual sadhanas, etc., you are evolved. But at the same time, because you have done some punya karma, that punya karmas has to be exhausted. That is why one set of people say, if direct path is too much, have a backup plan of Brahmaloka. At least you don't come back. At least you will not come back. It's called Krama Mukti, stages. It's called Krama Mukti also, in stages. Another is Jivan Mukti, right now. Akrama Mukti. Yeah? Krama means a direct path. Akrama Mukti, Akrama the direct path. What is the direct path? The direct path is this. Chitta Shuddhi, detachment, moksha. Chitta Shuddhi, detachment, moksha. That's the difference. Are you able to follow? Ramesh. Purinjida? Next clarification. Clarification by Amit. He's not leaving that Sishya and Vidyarthi. Eh? I don't know what is his problem. Amit. Was Arjuna a Sishya or Vidyarthi to Krishna? Arjuna is a Sishya. Sishyasteham shadimam tvam prapanam. He said, accept me as your Sishya and I will do as per your command. But he asked many questions. What is the difference between many questions? What is the difference between Arjuna and Nachiketas? Nachiketas also asked questions. Arjuna also asked questions. Nachiketas also asked questions. When Nachiketas asked a question, Yama told him, this many questions are allowed to you. 3 boons is allowed to you. He said, Yama allowed, this many list is given. 3 boons are allowed to you. In the case of Arjuna, he goes on asking questions because the mind is not yet stabilized. The mind is not yet stabilized. Therefore, is Arjuna a Vidyarthi or a Sishya? Arjuna definitely belongs to the category of a Sishya, not the Vidyarthi type. How? Number one, he went and told him, I am confused. I do not know what to do. Are you able to follow? Sishyasteham shadimam tuam prapannam. He said. Even though he said, I am your Sishya, etc., still doubts are there in Arjuna a lot, which Krishna as a teacher understood that. Therefore, what Krishna did? He adopted a methodology of teaching where the very teaching itself triggers the doubts. It's hidden in Arjuna. Carefully follow. The doubts are hidden in Arjuna, which is not conscious, which doesn't come to Arjuna's conscious mind. Therefore, what happened? A very beautiful methodology of teaching by which all the doubts kept on surfacing to bring the doubts to surface. What he did, he kept on speaking contradictory language. He kept on speaking so contradictorily that more contradictory language, more he's getting irritated. More contradictory language Krishna speaks, more Arjuna is getting irritated because Arjuna is saying, Tadekam vada nischitya yena shreyoham apnuyam. Tell me in one word what I should do. That's what I'm asking. Who asked for such a big discourse from you? Who asked for such a big discourse from you? Tadekam vada nischitya yena shreyoham. Tell me in one word what should I do? Tell me in one word what should I do? That one word was told to him already in chapter 2, verse number 1 and 2. In chapter 2, verse number 1 and 2, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, he's already told him. What did he say there? Klaibyam smagamav partha naitatva upapadyate Shudram Hridaya Daurbalyam Tyaktotishta Parantapa. Tyaktva. Leave this mind behind Uttishta Arjuna. Leave this mind behind, get up and fight. Instruction is already given there. As soon as the instruction is given, Arjuna got confused. What is the confusion? Pujaha Arisudana. Kadam Bhishma Maham Sankye Dronancha Madhusudana. Klaibyam Asmagam of Partha, he said, Klaibyam means you are a coward. How can you see these people in front and wanting to run away? Wanting to run away. Arjuna turned back and said, you didn't understand my problem. The Sishya knows the teacher has understood the problem. Vidyarthi doubts whether the teacher has understood the problem or not. Are you able to follow? Vidyarthi doubts whether the teacher has understood the problem or not. Sishya knows the teacher has understood the problem. So when he said Klaibyam Masmagam of Partha, the Vidyarthi aspect of Arjuna woke up and said, how can you call me a coward? For I am not a coward, Krishna. Why do you think I am a coward? My problem is this. What is my problem? Fighting is not my problem. Duryodhana and Karna is not my problem. My problem stems from a different angle. What is a different angle? Now I am in a battlefield where I necessarily have to murder these two people, Drona and Bhishma. Have you ever fought with, have you ever been in a situation where you have to fight with your guru? To understand this, first you should have a guru in your life, isn't it? First you should have a guru in your life, and then it's a very big dilemma. What is the dilemma? How can you fight against your guru? Okay, fighting against a guru is okay, but you have to kill him also, and using the same skill that he taught you. Look at the dilemma of Arjuna. Poor fellow. But then he knew, Sishyasteham Shadimam Tvam. Even though he said, you didn't understand my problem in verse number 4, in verse number 7, 8 of chapter 2, he said, Sishyasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapannam. Tell me, what should I? I have surrendered to you. I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do. He could have straight away said, get up and fight. He could have straight away said, get up and fight. But he didn't say that. Why? That's why he's a very great teacher, Krishna. He knew what was Arjuna's problem. What is Arjuna's problem? The doubting mind. Now the doubting mind has to be addressed. Therefore, what he did, he went into elaborate discourses. And he went into elaborate discourses. Every few verses in between, he will bring in a contradiction. One. Second, every few verses, he will use words that have diametrically opposite meaning. He will use the word yogi means enlightened person. In some context, he will say yogi means enlightened person. In some context, you will say yogi means the one who's in the early stages of the spiritual path. In some other verse, he will say yogi means sannyasi. In some other context, he will say sannyasi means yogi. If you follow him, you will be utterly confused. Telling him, at least get your vocabulary right and speak properly. Are you able to follow? And then what happened ultimately? Nashto moha smritir labda, 18th chapter. He said, all my delusion is gone. You follow? Therefore, Arjuna, in the Vedantic sense, we don't categorize him as a Vidyarthi. We categorize him as a Sishya. Next clarification. Did Krishna have any Sishya? Krishna is very lucky. Still we are sitting and studying him, no? He is a very lucky guru. One of the luckiest gurus who have survived thousands of years. Why? Because even today we are sitting and studying him. Anybody who reads Gita, anybody who studies Gita becomes his Sishya. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. So he is the Jagat Guru. He has many Sishyas. Adi Shankaracharya is one Sishya, even though he is Gaudapada and all that. If you see the Guru Parampara, Narayanam Padma Bhuvam, he will find the place. Therefore, he had lot of Sishyas. In the teaching tradition, Arjuna is one student, Uddhava is another student. Uddhava is another student of Krishna. What is called as Uddhav Gita. What he told Arjuna is called Bhagavad Gita, and what he told Uddhava is called Uddhav Gita. Bhagavad Gita is more known, not only now, even before the time of Adi Shankaracharya, Bhagavad Gita was well known. That's why Adi Shankaracharya, all of them wrote a Bhashya on Bhagavad Gita. They never wrote a Bhashya on any other Gita. They wrote Bhashyas on Upanishads, and even though there are other Gitas available, they never wrote Bhashyas on that. Why only Bhagavad Gita? The way in which he brought in the various schools of thoughts and made it into a beautiful sequence and gave the clarity is extraordinary. Bhagavad Gita. It's not a hodgepodge of various ideas. He sequentialized it so beautifully and made it so relevant. So, did Krishna have Sishya? Yes, he had lots and lots of Sishyas, including Amit Om Prakash. Next, clarification. What's the difference between Vairagya and Chitta Shuddhi? Chitta Shuddhi means you are using the world for your inner purification. Vairagya means a clarity that you have nothing to do with this world. In Chitta Shuddhi, you are part of the world. In Vairagya, you are not part of the world. This is the fundamental difference between the two. Are you able to follow? In Chitta Shuddhi, you are part of the world. You are part of the world. You are using the world. You are trying to do something to the world, etc. That is Chitta Shuddhi. Vairagya is what? Vairagya is a state where you say you have nothing to do with whatsoever is happening in the world. There is a huge humanitarian crisis. Vairagya. You say, I have nothing to do with it. That's why Chitta Shuddhi looks very appealing. Vairagya will look very indifferent. Again, I repeat, Chitta Shuddhi always looks very appealing. Vairagya and detachment looks very, very indifferent. Why? Because there is a huge crisis and the person of Vairagya says, so what? This is going to happen again and again and again. What are you going to set it right in that? Get out of it. That is Vairagya. Are you able to follow the difference between the two? In Chitta Shuddhi, purification is the goal. In Vairagya, liberation is the goal. Liberation from what? Liberation from understanding that, liberation from wrong understanding. Liberation from wrong understanding that I am a samsari. Are you able to follow? What is liberation? Liberation from bondage. What is bondage? Bondage is you thinking you are a samsari is the bondage. You need maturity to understand that you are not a samsari. Samsari means what? Caught up in the world. Caught up in the world. Right now, you cannot understand that. Therefore, you need to go through a lot of Chitta Shuddhi processes, etc. And then you mature to understand. Therefore, in Vairagya, you say you have nothing to do with. In Vairagya, you say you have nothing to do with the world. Chitta Shuddhi, you are part of the world. That's the difference. Are you able to follow? You are trying to do something. You are trying to do your Nitya Naimittika karmas. There is a gratitude. You are repaying. All that is there in Chitta Shuddhi. Are you able to follow what is Chitta Shuddhi means? Nitya Naimittika karma, gratitude, etc. That is Chitta Shuddhi. In Vairagya, what is happening? In Vairagya, what is happening? In Vairagya, you say, I have nothing to do with any of these. Are you able to follow? Example of Vairagya. Example of Vairagya. Gautama the Buddha was called Siddhartha, isn't it? Beautiful name, Siddhartha. All that a man can have, he had it already. That's the meaning of Siddhartha. Siddhartha means he has attained all that. What has he attained? The family, the best, he has attained everything. Siddhartha, he is very happy. One day he went out. I'm not going to the full story. One day he told the charioteer, take me out of the palace, take me out of this Swarga, take me out of this Swarga. He gotten into the real world. And when he gotten into the real world, he saw a few things. The first thing he saw is a coughing person, sick. He said, what happened to this man? He said, he's sick. Then Siddhartha thought only that person can fall sick. Then the next question he asked is, will everybody fall sick? Say, yeah, of course everybody will fall sick. He asked the charioteer, will you fall sick? Yes. Then he asked, will I fall sick? Answer, yes. Some change happened in him. Nothing, all this will not bring any change in us, but some change happened in him. Some more time. He saw a old man bent. Like how we gave in the Bhagavad description, the bent man with the stake, teeth gone. That person he saw. He said, why is he like that? Old age. After disease, this will come. Will you be like that? Yes. Will I be like that? Yes. Then he said, we'll go back. So they were coming back. They were coming back. A funeral procession was happening. A funeral procession. He asked, why a sleeping man is carried by 4 men? The question he asked, why a sleeping man is carried by 4? He said, what do you mean sleeping? He's dead. Will you die? Yes. Will I die? Yes. He came back to the palace. That evening he left. The same charioteer said, that day a son was born to him, Rahu. The charioteer said, how selfish you can be. How selfish you can be. How bad you can be. How can you just leave them like this and go? How can you leave your young wife and the few hours child? How can you leave that and go? Don't you want to see the face of the child at least once before you go? Siddhartha said, come, I need to go. So they left. They crossed the border of the country, and from the hilltop, they were able to see the palace. The satellite pictures show all the cities shining in gold, no? Isn't it? In the night, the satellite pictures of the night, when you see how they show, all the cities are shining in gold. Like that, the palace was shining in gold. So, Siddhartha asked the charioteer, wait, he pointed out to the palace and said, what do you see there? What do you see in that palace? What do you see in that palace? What did the charioteer say? What did the charioteer say? I see happiness, he said. I see happiness there. I see joy there. I see happiness there. I see contentment there. Siddhartha said, I see misery there. You go your path, I go. You go your path, I go. I go my path. Why you didn't see the face of the child? He asked, no. Siddhartha said, you don't know, my friend. So many times in my janmas, I have seen the face like that and got stuck. So many times I have seen faces like that and got stuck for the rest of the life. This time I decided not to get stuck. This is called Vairagya. Are you able to follow? This is called Vairagya. Now this Vairagya and all cannot be artificially practiced and all. You have to mature and become a Vairagi. That's where in Vedanta, we will never talk about the practice of Vairagya. We always talk about the practice of Karma Yoga Chitta Shuddhi. We never talk about practicing detachment. We never talk about becoming a sannyasi. We always talk about doing your Nitya Naimittika Karma, Chitta Shuddhis, Bhakti, etc. All that. You follow? This is the difference between Chitta Shuddhi and Vairagya. Vairagya is a state where You are able to see the falsities in everything. You are able to see the temporariness in everything. You are able to understand how everything is fleeting and passing. That is Vairagya. Is it okay, Amit? One more clarification is there. We'll take up and then we'll go to the verse. What is your clarification?
Gradation of Shishya and gradation.
Teachers. Last week, we spoke about the teachers, that and then the Vidyarthi, the Sishyas, etc. So, Ranjini wants a clarity, elaboration on that. First, I'll talk about the gradations of the Sishyas, because that is more relevant. Gradations of the teachers also we will talk. That also I'm going to talk. Amit, for you also, follow this carefully. Students is of 4 types. The first one is called Udasina. The first type is called Udasina. Same meaning, Tamil Vartha, Udasina. Tamil we use the same word, Udasina. Udasina means indifferent. I think in some I have heard the word Udasina used in Malayalam. I have seen, I don't know whether they use it in Telugu and all. Will they use Udasina? I don't know. But these 2 languages I have heard people using it, and it's a very classic Sanskrit word, Udasina. Udasina means disregarding. You follow what I'm saying? Udasina, a indifferent student. They will come, they will hear and be indifferent to what they have heard. That is Udasina. Are you able to follow? They will come, they will hear, but they will be very indifferent to what they hear. Unnecessarily, some friend would have dragged them in. Unnecessarily, the partner would have dragged them in, not knowing what, in order to please somebody, they will come and sit. Udasina it is. So first is Udasina. Sometimes from Udasina, you can, sometimes Udasina also can trigger something. That's why better to bring somebody, yeah? Sonal, better to bring somebody, because Udasina can turn. We don't know. That's why we try all these methods. Why? The first one is Udasina. Are you okay? Udasina types. Second is Vidyarthi. Vidyarthi is one who wants to gather information, understand the information, etc. Vidyarthi he is. But one thing will be lacking in that Vidyarthi is what? One thing that will be lacking in that Vidyarthi is what? That Seva. Guru Seva will be lacking in that Vidyarthi. Vidyarthi will not be keen on Guru Seva. They will come, they will learn, they will understand, they will go back. Vidyarthi. The third category, are you okay, Vidyarthi, now? They will do, they'll ask questions, they will be interested in their transformation, etc. All that will be happening in them. But one thing they will miss. What is that one thing they will miss? The Guru Seva will be missed. The Guru Seva will be missed. Pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. So Vidyarthi will do pariprashna, but Seva will be missing. Are you able to follow? That is Vidyarthi. From Vidyarthi, the next one, Antevasin. Antevasin means one who resides with the Guru in the same place. Gurukula is full of Antevasin. Gurukulas are full of Antevasins, where the Sishya comes and stays with the Guru. But they should be called the Sishya. No, why they are called Antevasin? Are you able to follow? What is the difference? Vidyarthi will mature into Antevasin, but still not a Sishya. Even Antevasins cannot be called as Sishyas. Why? Because in Antevasi, what happens is a personal infatuation, affinity to the teacher will start. A personal infatuation to the teacher will start. They will be so infatuated to the personality of the guru and miss the what will they miss? What will they miss? The purpose of the entire association will be missed. What is the purpose of the entire association? What is the purpose of the association with the guru? Moksha. That will be missed because another new obsession would have started. Now, who becomes obsession in Antevasin? The guru becomes an obsession. Are you able to follow? The moment you get obsessed, infatuated, it becomes lower. Straight away, it becomes lower. Are you able to follow the difference? Udasina, Vidyarthi, Antevasi. The fourth one is a Sishya. Are you able to follow? The fourth one will be Antevasi. The fourth one will be a Vidyarthi. See, when we say the fourth doesn't mean the three is eliminated. One gets added. Are you able to understand the difference? For example, if you from bachelor degrees to master degree, if you graduate, you will not, the bachelor's knowledge will not get eliminated. It will be added. Are you able to follow? Similarly, Udasina plus one becomes Vidyarthi. Vidyarthi plus one becomes Antevasi. Antevasi plus one becomes Sishya. Are you able to follow? So it is not elimination of one, it is adding up an extra quality. It is adding up an extra quality.
What is the quality of the Antevasin that he becomes Antevasin? Is there a difference between the two other than staying with the Guru?
Yes. The Vidyarthi has so many other preoccupations, he can't leave anything for the sake of the Guru. Antevasi leaves everything for the sake of the Guru and comes. Antevasin is ready to be, it's a gradation of development. Are you able to follow? Antevasin means one who's ready to leave everything, one who's ready to leave everything and come and stay with the Guru. That is Antevas. That's why I gave the example of Antevasin as Gurukulas. Only in Gurukula there can be Antevas. Are you able to follow? In the Gurukula, that Antevasin will be a Vidyarthi also. In the Gurukula, the Antevasi will be a Vidyarthi also. Are you able to follow? It is not that Vidyarthi is fully eliminated and then only he becomes that. It's an additional qualification. It is like primary, secondary, graduation, post-graduation. Yeah. The best is Sishya. The best is Sishya. What is the Sishya? What is the best in Sishya? Why the Sishya is known as the best? He serves the Guru, but not obsessed with the personality. He is ready to give his life for the Guru, but not obsessed. Are you able to follow? Beautiful is that Sishya. So the Guru Seva in the Sishya is ultimate. Because without obsession, Seva is happening. Otherwise, there is always an obsession. Are you able to follow? Obsession means what? What is obsession?
We can't live with it.
What is obsession? Who is the best Sishya? That is the obsession. Who is the best Sishya? That is the obsession. At least certify me, I am the best, no? Are you able to follow? Remember that Last Supper, Jesus Christ, we speak about any number of times. Adalla Antevasi category. Fighting, who tell me, like everybody told Jesus Christ, they put a gun on his head and said, tell me now who's the best disciple. Tell me now who's the best disciple. He didn't want to answer. So he stuffed his food with, he stuffed his mouth with food because he didn't want to answer. Peter said, hierarchy wise, everything wise, I am the, therefore you should say, I am the best. Christ said, before before the cock crows, you will deny me thrice. Before the cock crows, you deny me thrice, he said. 3 times you will deny me, he said. And he denied him. First time, he said, I don't know who this man is. Second time, when he was taken, he said, I don't know who this man is. Third time, sentence is given. He has to be crucified and he has to carry the cross. And he is carrying the cross and walking up the hill. And the whole lot is walking behind. The whole lot is walking behind. Somebody pointed out to Peter and said, I have seen this man as his follower. Because isn't it? That's why one person should not be taken everywhere. You will get caught unnecessarily. No, should not take everybody like. We learned a few lessons. So, what did he? Because in case we get crucified, why you also? You can say deny, isn't it? Now, what happened? They said, this man, Peter, they pointed out to Peter and said, he is the one. The soldiers came to him and asked, do you know him? That's the third time. Peter said, no, I don't know who he is. And the cock crew. Jesus Christ smiled at him and continued the walk. Are you able to follow? Now, what is the Sishya means? What is Antevasin? Obsession. What is obsession? Fight, politics. See, obsession and nartham, fight and politics is obsession. That's all. Yeah. Who is number one? No obsession. Are you able to follow? What is my job is to serve. That's all. Who is number one, number two, and all is not the problem. Are you able to follow? Sishya. Number two, what makes you a Sishya? The command. The command. What is the command? Remember that boy Gautama who went to the Guru and the Guru gave him a pair of cow and bull, gave him a pair of cow and bull and said, make it into 1,000 and come back to me. Here is an Antevasin ready to leave everything and come to the Guru, and the Guru is kicking him out. He never had a problem with that. Are you able to follow? He never had a problem with that because he knew in that lies his salvation. Are you able to follow? That is the Sishya. Therefore, there are gradations of students. Udasina, Vidyarthi, Antevasi, Sishya. Sishya means one who ready to take Siksha, etc. Although I'm not going to those explanations. In the Guru Purnima, we have seen that. We have seen that a lot. So I'm not going to that elaboration now. This is the 4 categories of students. Udasina, Vidyarthi, Antevasi, and Sishya. You can be an Antevasi and not turn into a Sishya. It is possible. Are you able to follow? You can live with the Guru and not turn into a Sishya at all. It is possible. Is it okay? These 4 gradations. Now I'll go to the teacher gradations. Yes, Raj. Unmute Raj Krishnan Shankar.
Hi, sir. No, I just wanted to check that you also mentioned that living with the Guru is a rare thing. But is it like, because you're saying now that it is a staged progression, so that means you have to go through stage 3 and then go to stage 4. And does it require you to be through that Antevasin stage to become a Sishya?
Sishya.
Or is that also like, when it can happen without it?
Raj is asking, is 3 a necessary step. And to be a Antevasin is a necessary step. Is it a must? Is it necessary? I don't want to answer that question. Raj, why are you asking all these questions? You cannot avoid the 3. It is impossible. You cannot avoid the 3. Antevasin is a necessary step. Just as from Udasina to Vidyarthi is a necessary step, from Vidyarthi to Antevasin is a necessary step. Are you able to follow? You have to live in the association, company of the Guru for a period of time. It is a must. It is a must. You cannot avoid that. Nobody can avoid that. That's why the Gurukulas, that's why you find everybody went and stayed with their Guru for a period of time. Krishna went and stayed with the Guru. He was an Antevasin. He stayed with Sandipani. Rama went and stayed. You follow what I'm saying? Now what is happening is the Gurus have started to come and stay, short visit. Ulta, it is happening now. Are you able to follow? Raj. Antevasin is a must. You have to be an Antevasin. Sakshi Tin Solunga. She has to become an Antevasi. It is a must. You cannot avoid being an Antevasi. Why? Why? Certain commands can be given only when you become an Antevasi, because the command has to be given, and when you are following the command, an eye has to be kept on you. A command cannot be given and left alone. Are you able to follow? A command has to be given and an eye also has to be kept on you, because you may misread the command, you may misunderstand the command, you may be doing exactly the opposite thing. Now all this cannot, so you cannot just leave a command like that. Just as the prescription they give, no, morning, afternoon, evening, just command alone is not enough. Supervision is also necessary. In the case of the 1000 cows, from 2 to 1000 cows, Gautama didn't know the Guru was keeping an eye on him. He didn't know that. That we will not talk about. Yeah, that we will not talk about. And Raj, 500 square feet, 3 பேரே கஷ்டமா இருக்கு, isn't it? Yeah, where to do this Antevasi? But as an answer, Antevasin is a must. A command can be given, and it is also necessary to see whether the medication is followed rightly. Are you able to follow? Command is a medication, and whose responsibility is to ensure that the medication is followed rightly, the dosage is followed rightly? Whose responsibility? Is it the doctors or the patients? Doctor has the responsibility to monitor. That's why he'll say come every 2 weeks. Why does he say come every 2 weeks? Because it is a responsibility of the one to monitor right till the end. So monitoring is very easy in Antevas. Are you able to follow? So it is a... Now don't ask tomorrow, Raj. Answer is no. For tomorrow's question, answer is no already. Yeah. For tomorrow's question, answer is no. No Antevasin story and all. Amit. No Antevasi story and all. Be a Vidyarthi first. Don't worry about the Antevasi. But Antevasi is a necessary step. You cannot avoid. Are you able to follow? Now, the teachers. Now the teachers. That's again a very beautiful thing. The first type of teacher is one who can give you an information. Just information. He is called Adhyapak or a Pracharak. He can give information. That is the very elementary kindergarten. They just give information. A for apple, B for I don't know what all, whatever they do. That's called adhyapak. Are you okay with the first one? Second one, the one who imparts knowledge combined with information. Not only gives information, he gives some knowledge also along with that information. What is the difference between the two? Some questions he can answer. Not all the questions. Some questions he will be able to answer. That is called Upadhyaya. That's why we find this. There are people in the north who have the surnames, no? Upadhyaya, Upadhyaya, Upa Adhyaya. Upa means near the Guru. From the Guru, he will take the command and the varo. Clear? Shankar, Konar notes Upadhyaya category. Seriya? Yes, he is the one who insulted me maximum. So I can never forgive him for that insult. He said, Unga teachings lang Konar notes, he said. You will not know what Konar notes is, Sonal. You will not know what Konar notes is. Amit, you will not know what Konar notes is. Huh? What is the notes in Hindi? No, the bazaar notes that they sell, which is more all the guide. So all the students who can't understand the book, students who can't understand the book just want to pass. Where will they go to? Guide. He said, all your classes are like Konar notes, he said. Adal Upadhyaya. He is correct. Upadhyaya. Shankar. It is correct. Upadhyaya it is. One who can impart knowledge combined with information. He can say there is mind and intellect, and also he will be able to elaborate this mind and intellect. Upadhyaya. From a lay person, everybody will look like a teacher. Huh? See, from the lay person's angle, all will look like, you will not know how to differentiate between all these categories. The third category. So, Adhyapak lende yaar vandirukrom. From Adhyapak, we have come to Upadhyaya. Upadhyaya lende we come to the third category. What is the category? One who can impart some skill required for that knowledge and information. Some skill is also imparted along with it. What is the skill imparted along with it? You should do Nitya Naimittika Karma, some information. And then they will tell what is the Nitya Naimittika Karma. Some information will be, some skill will be imparted. That is called, the one who can impart some skill is called Acharya. Nowadays, it is reversed. In those days, they will be called as Acharya, not in the sense of how Acharya means now. I'll come to that later. They are called. So, Adhyapak, from Adhyapak to Upadhyaya to Acharya. Fourth category. One who can give you a deep insight into that subject. Are you able to follow the fourth category? One who can give you a very deep insight into that subject. The one who can give a very deep insight into the subject is called a Pandit or Vedam Pandit. He is very scholarly, he is. He can give you a very deep insight into this. What is deep insight into the subject? He can quote from various authorities. He can connect everything. He can give you a wow effect on the subject. That's called a Pandit. Adhyapak cannot do that. Adhyapak will say there is only this. Acharya, Upadhyaya will be able to elaborate a little bit. Acharya can make some aspect of the knowledge practical. He can tell you what to do, what not to do, little bit here and there. Acharya. The fourth one is Pandit. Pandit means one who can give you a very deep, penetrative insight into the subject. Are you okay till now? The fourth. The fifth one is called a Drishta, a visionary. A person who has a visionary view on the subject and also help you to teach in that and also can help you to think in that manner. It's called a drishta visionary. இவர் வந்து பண்டிட்டுக்கு மேல திருஷ்ட. The last one is the best, the highest. Who's the highest? The one who can awaken the wisdom in you. The one who can lead you from darkness to light. Asatoma Gadgamaya, Tamasoma, Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma, Amritam Gamaya. That one person is able to do that. That one person who can awaken the wisdom in you. The one person who can lead you from darkness to light is called, in the modern day terminology, is called the Guru. The modern day terminology, they are called a Guru. So there are 6 types now. What are the 6 types? Adhyapak, Padhyaya, Acharya, Pandit, Drishta, Guru. That 6th one is a combination of all the 5 also. The 6th one will be when the 6th one is a combination of all the 5, then he becomes a Mundaka defined Guru. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. For one generation, one Brahmanishtam, one Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam combination is enough. Too much it is. Too much that person is. Are you able to follow? So what the Mundaka Upanishad calls as the combination of Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam is, he will be a Pandit, he will be an Acharya, he will be a Drishta. He has everything combined. And that Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam combination will be meaningful and gets revealed only to a Sishya. Only to a Sishya. Brahmavit will be there. Carefully follow. Brahmavit will be there, but Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam combination is very, very difficult. Brahmavit means knowers of Brahman. You may know it by yourself, but you will not know how to impart it, how to guide it. That is why 99% of the enlightened ones are not known at all. Why 99% of the enlightened ones are not known? Because they just lived life like any one of us and passed away quietly. We don't even know them. Those we know are the ones who are able to, the ones that we know are the ones who are able to teach also, communicate also. Are you able to follow? Therefore, what happens? Adhyapak, Padhyaya, Acharya, Pandit, Drishta, Guru. Now, these words we use very fluidly. Don't get stuck to these words. These words we use very fluidly. And personally, from I have a bit of orthodoxy and ritualistic thing in me a lot. Therefore, my personal thing for the Guru is Acharya. My personal word that I use for the Guru is Acharya. Nowadays, the word Guru is used in this sense a lot. Everybody uses this word Guru a lot in this sense. But I use it very, now I'm making the distinction, because when I use the word Acharya, I use the word Acharya in the sense of the Guru. Why? Because traditionally, all these people have been called Acharyas. Shankara, Acharya. Ramanuja, Acharya. Madhva, Acharya. They are, carefully follow. I like them so much because they didn't add Ananda to their titles. They didn't add the name Ananda to their title. Their title is Acharya. Yeah. Ananda is purely your subjective thing. You may not know how to communicate it, but an Acharya is one who has the Ananda and also knows how to communicate. Not only he knows how to communicate, he can take you shoulder to shoulder. Ramtirtha says that. Water comes from the rocks. Water comes from the rocks, he says. You take you take a rock on the ground and squeeze, no water comes out of it. And how can you understand? Water comes from the rocks. And yet the truth is water comes from the rocks. If you have gone to the mountain tops, you know water is coming from the rocks. You know how porous those things are. Water, each and every molecule, That's why you go higher up in the mountains and pick up rocks from there. How beautiful they look, no? The shape, the size, the pore. It's so beautiful. Why? Because water has gone through. Water has gone. So, water kind of, on a very superficial sense, if you see, it looks like water comes from the rock. So, who's an acharya? An acharya is one who can be an adhyapak, padhyaya, plus. He can be that, he can be this, he can be this, he can be this, and he can be the highest. Are you able to follow? Therefore, the different teachers, predominantly, most of the time, because of the law of demand and supply, most of the time, we need only Pandit and Acharya. Pandit and Guru. The true sense of the term Acharya is very, too many Acharyas will become very redundant because too much of supply and no demand. What is the use? Are you able to follow? So predominantly, the world needs what? Acharya means one who can impart a skill. And a Pandit means one who can give a deep insight. So predominantly, you will find at a very different level, Pandit and Acharya. But they themselves will follow a life of Achara and Anushtana, and they will never take the stance of Brahmanishta. All the five will not take the stance of Brahmanishta. Brahmanishta means they will not say, I am Brahman. They will not say, they will say, no, I myself is struggling. You follow what I am saying? Shvetaketu finished the education and came back. The father asked him, did your teacher teach that which cannot be taught? Shvetaketu came back. After 24 years of studying, gold medal, isn't it? He's the best one. Everything is done. He's coming back. Like a stamba, he's walking. Yeah. Humility, bend down, knowledge, ego straight, isn't it? So as and when knowledge comes, you should bend to more and more. More and more knowledge comes, becoming erect. So he's walking he's walking back like a stamba. So Shvetaketu's father asked, did your teacher teach that which cannot be taught? What do you mean? How can anybody teach that which cannot be taught? Go and ask. Shvetaketu comes back to the Guru. Guru said, why are you back? Convocation next day, why are you coming to the university? You are not supposed to come back. So why are you coming back? No, my father asked you to ask a question. What is the question? See, Shvetaketu says, I am an all-knower. I know everything. Also, I know you know everything because you are my Guru. Unnecessarily, my useless father is asking a third question. What is the third question? As he taught you that which cannot be taught. What is that he is asking? What is Shvetaketu's Guru said? Shvetaketu's Guru said, I am also searching the answer to that question. If you find somebody who knows the answer, tell me. I will come and learn under that person. Where will you place that Guru? That Shvetaketu's Guru, who gave him convocation and everything. Where will you place him? He is a Drishta. He is a Pandit. Only one thing is missing. What? Brahmanishtam is missing. And that man is having, that person has the courage to say, what? I am not a Brahmanishta. If somebody there who knows it, tell me, I will come and, you follow what I am saying? Don't try to do match the following here. Don't try to do match the following. Vidyarthi ki ivaru, Guru ki ivaru, don't try to do the match the following and all here. If you do the match the following, you will be utterly confused. Konar notes could help another after that. If you do match the following here, even Konar notes cannot help you. Shankar, don't do that. What it means is there are gradations here. Similarly, there are gradations there also, depending on demand and supply. Demand and supply. Who you will attract will depend upon what you seek. What you seek, you will attract that. What you demand, you will attract that. You can be attracted to a Brahmanishta just for the Pandit thing. Please understand that. You can be attracted to a Brahmanishta because of the Drishta. You can be attracted to a Brahmanishta because he's a very good Adhyapak also. Isn't it? So so don't try this. Don't try this drama of Brahmanishtam and all. There are gradations. Are you able to follow? A visionary need not be established in Brahman. He has studied about Brahman, he can talk about Brahman, he can do everything about Brahman. That Shravana, Manana, everything is so pakka in him that Shankaracharya will go and learn a lesson from him. I have seen that. I have seen the Acharyas calling some of them and learning from the learning. He says, see, how can I know everything? I can't know everything. So this is a person he's an expert in that. Ask him. He's an expert in that. Take it. You know, that kind of are you able to follow? These are the gradations. Yes.
Antevasini is a person who is staying with the Guru, which means he will automatically be doing seva to the Guru. He cannot be simply studying. Shishya is also there in the same ashrama, I suppose, and serving the Guru.
Yes.
So what is the difference between the two?
You can never know the difference. Only the Guru will know the difference.
Both are serving Guru, yeah?
Yes. You will not know the difference. You cannot know the difference. If at all there is a difference, the only difference is Antevasi also will not be able to take a command. Antevasi will still have an ego there. Antevasi will not be able to take a command completely. Shishya will able to take a command completely. Antevasi will say, I will not leave you under any circumstance. Shishya will say, if you ask me to leave, I will leave also. That's why I said obsession. Are you able to follow the difference? Antevasi will say, I will not leave you under any circumstance, I will not leave you. Obsession it is. Shishya says, if you keep me, I will be here. If you ask me to leave, I will leave. If you ask me to come, he has such a good clarity because he is willing to take the command and do things. That's the difference between Antevasi and Shishya. You follow? Priyartha?
And Vidyarthi and Antevasi, Vidyarthi is preoccupied, so he is not able to come to Gurukula and stay. And he is also not able to take the command.
Yes.
But Antevasi is better that he is able to leave the world behind and stay within the Gurukula, but still not able to take the command.
Still not able to take the command. Because obsession. Obsession. Obsession has shifted, that's all. See, it's a shift of obsession. But still it's a better shift, but doesn't mean it is the best. Instead of being obsessed to the world, is obsessed to God, to Guru. It is better, but still it is not the best. Still it is not the Shishya type.
So what sort of command he is able to take that makes him Antevasi better than a Vidyarthi?
That you will not know. That cannot be elaborated. That cannot be elaborated. It is purely a subjective phenomenon. You follow? That is that elaboration cannot be set from that angle. It's purely a subjective phenomena from person to personality.
Cannot be generalized.
Cannot be generalized. Alpana. Wait, they will unmute you.
Hari Om, sir. Sir, you mentioned two words with regard to Guru. Brahmanishtam and Brahmavid. So Brahmavid is knower of Brahman, and Brahmanishtam is one who's established in Brahman.
Yes.
But sir, by definition, Brahmavid is the one Brahmaiva Bhavati. So
Yes.
he's become Brahman. So how can a Brahmavid not be established in Brahman? How can a Brahmavid not be a Brahman?
I use these words very liberally. I use all these words very fluidly. I don't stick to the dictionary meaning of these words. I use words very, very liberally. To me, Brahmavid, Brahmanishta, all means the Brahmavid is from one Upanishad, we'll call it as Brahmavid. Another Upanishad will call it as Brahmanishta. Some other Upanishad will say Brahmanishta means he is a sannyasi, one who's trying to get established. So these words are used very, very liberally. So I use these words very, very liberally. There's no, what I meant is an enlightened person. Not only is enlightened, he knows how to communicate. How to communicate. When he is established, he has done good to himself, oneself. When one is established in Brahman, one has done good to oneself. When you know how to communicate, you are able to help the others also. Are you able to follow the difference? One who is established in Brahman need not necessarily know how to communicate it. One who is established in Brahman need not necessarily know how to communicate. That's why you find so many Upanishadic stories where the Guru says, you are a Brahmavid, no, you are a Brahmavid, no, don't you know Brahman? The lady says, yes, I know Brahman, but I cannot teach you. Go to that person and learn. Because it is a separate, you can understand a subject. In any worldly subject also, one is you can understand this. Another thing is how you can teach it to another. That's a separate additional thing. So for the world, benefit comes from this Shrotriyam and Brahmanishta. You follow? Amit, I'll come to you. Yes.
Should I ask my question?
Yes, Amit.
Last time you distinguished between Shishya and Vidyarthi.
Yes.
You said that the Shishya is someone who doesn't have any questions with the world.
Yes.
Well, he just comes to his Guru and says, show me Brahman.
Yes.
Now Arjuna is asking Vidyarthi level questions because he's talking about the world, he's distressed with the world.
Yes.
So I'm not understanding how is he a Shishya, because even after the war, Krishna is crying because Arjuna did not listen to the commands Krishna gave him.
Yeah.
He's crying about him killing all his, cousins. So how is he a Shishya?
Now, that is why I didn't discuss it from the Puranic story angle of Arjuna. I didn't give an answer from the angle of Mahabharata story Arjuna. If you look at the Mahabharata story Arjuna, he's a very ordinary human being. He's a very, very ordinary human being. Nothing great about him from the story point. Now, in this classroom, we want to see Arjuna from a different angle. From the story angle, Arjuna is a very, very ordinary person. But I'm not looking at him from that angle. We don't look at him from that angle. We are looking at him from because story means we do not know what is happening inside. Story is just says what happens in his life. The events in his life is what is told as story. What is happening in the mind, we really don't know. Here we are trying to understand what is happening in the mind. Therefore, how we will interpret Arjuna and how the story will be two different things. It will not be the same. You follow? Again, I repeat. How you will see Arjuna in the story versus how we will talk about Arjuna here, both of them will be very different. Because we will not know what is happening in the mind. We see the expressions and we do. Here we are trying to understand what is happening inside of Arjuna. Therefore, we will not talk about the Mahabharata story Arjuna here. If you take the Mahabharata story, Arjuna is a very, very ordinary human being. That's all. He just got into a temporary problem. He used Krishna as a counselor and went back. No, that's not Bhagavad Gita. That's not Arjuna. That's a very poor interpretation of Arjuna and Bhagavad Gita. That's a very, very poor interpretation. That's a very, very poor interpretation, because to understand the crisis of Arjuna, see, we all go through depressions in life. Arjuna also went through depression in life. Therefore, we are not equal. See, the Dharma Sankata of Arjuna is of a very high caliber. The Dharma Sankata of Arjuna is not an ordinary depressive thing. The Dharma Sankata of Arjuna is very, very different. What is the Dharma Sankata of Arjuna? Katam Bhishmamaham Sankhe Dronancha Madhusudana. The Dharma Sankata of where you love your Guru so much, and the Guru has acknowledged you as a primary disciple, and you are in love with that Guru so much, and you know that this is a do or die battle. Coming from this culture, coming from this tradition, coming from this entire background, will Arjuna want to, will you want to do that? Will anybody, will anybody here, will we want to be in that position of Arjuna? See, the position of Arjuna is very unique. We should understand his problem first, what Krishna is addressing. From the very ordinary angle, we think it is attachment to the property, this, that, that is all a very, very poor, and we don't get into that. To me, Arjuna means Dharma Sankata. What is the Dharma Sankata? It is such a deep thing. What is a very deep Sanatana Oriental thing? The Guru, the Shastra, the one who has performed great sacrifices. If Bhishma were to establish his right on the battlefield and said, all of you fellows get out, what will happen? For whose is that property? For whose is that property? It is Bhishma's. If Bhishma were to say, all of you fellows get out, and he established his right, Supreme Court judge also will say, it is Bhishma, all of you fellows get out. No. So look at that man. But then he's standing there, fighting like a soldier. Now, when you see personality like that, you want to emulate them. You want to live life like them. You don't want to be a party to kill them. How do you know this Dharma Sankata? In verses 25 and 26, chapter 1, when Arjuna says, place the chariot in between the two armies, where did Krishna place the chariot? Yeah, that's where Krishna is. Even before the war started, he knew what will happen. Okay. If he had placed the chariot in front of Duryodhana, what would have happened? If he had placed the chariot in front of Dushasana, actually speaking, I would have placed the chariot in front of Dushasana. Because half a day the battle will be over. Listen, half a day the battle, the whole lot can pack up and leave. But what Krishna did, he placed the chariot in front of Bhishma and Drona and said, fight. Gosh, how can you do that? How can he do that? You follow? See, we need to look at Arjuna rightly first. Once you understand Arjuna rightly, and then you see Bhagavad Gita, what a knowledge that he is giving. What a command that he is giving, that he has the thing to say, kill your Guru. That's why I say the most revolutionary statements in the Bhagavad Gita. Though killing, you will not incur sin. Though killing, you will not incur sin. Nayam hanti na hanyate. Though killing, you will not incur sin, Arjuna. It's an out of the world literature. This is out of the world discussion that Krishna is to say all this. You follow? Think about it from this angle. Two more. One Ranjani, one Mala, and then we conclude.
So one is Shrotriyam and Brahmanishtam, and another is Shrotriyam, Brahmanishtam, and Anushtita. Are they in the same pedestal, or Shrotriyam, Brahmanishtam, Anushtita is slightly higher than Shrotriyam and Brahmanishtam? How should I rightly understand?
See, she is asking that Shrotriyam and Brahmanishtam, a disciplined life. A Shrotriyam and Brahmanishtam live a disciplined life. Are they different? No. The very fact that you become a Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam combination, you will be living a life of Anushtana discipline.
Yeah.
Yes. Because Why you will live a life of discipline? Yadyata charati sreshtaha tattatyeva itarajanaha sayat pramanam kurute lokas. He understands what? Very difficult for the Udasina, Vidyarthi, Antevasi and all to understand his liberality. He knows that these categories and all cannot understand his true nature. Therefore, in order to educate them, he himself will live a life of discipline. Anushti. He live a life of anushtana. He will live a life of discipline. Like he will be doing the fasting, he will be doing the cultural thing, he will be doing everything that everybody does. Why? Because at the elementary level, you go by what they do, not what they, because to a deep insight into a subject like Pandit and Drishta and all needs a very high quality intellect. Most of them don't have that. Therefore, they have to be helped. How do they help? The teacher lives a life of discipline. He will not say, I am above law, therefore I will live life in the way that I want to. No. So there is no third category. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam will be a disciplined person by default.
So Anushtata is
Yes.
that.
Yes. Use the words that I use. Don't bring in extra words. Don't bring in extra words. Use the words that I use, because I deliberately avoid some words. I deliberately use some words. I deliberately avoid some words. Last clarification we'll take. Mala, could you explain the meaning of Sesha, Seshi Bhava? If Sesha denotes Narayana, then why does Adi Sesha refer to the snake god and not Narayana? Again I repeat. Sanskrit words. Sesha, Seshi Bhava, all this is very unique to the Sampradaya. All these words are very unique to the Sampradaya. Vaishnava Sampradaya. If Sesha denotes Narayana, why does Adi Sesha refer to the snake god and Narayana? Mala. All these words, Sesha, Siksha, Sishya, all has the same root. All these words, Sesha, Sishya, all this has the same root. One root. That root is the willingness to take the command and serve. That's all it is. Sishya means. That's why I keep defining. Sishya means willingness to take the command and serve. Are you able to follow? Adisesha, the snake god, the snake. Adisesha means the snake. He's reclining and sleeping, isn't it? Narayana, he's sleeping in that Sesha. Have you ever touched a snake with the bare hand? Have you ever felt what a snake is with a bare hand? How soft and how thin it is. You know? Adisesha is like the most softest bed. The most softest cushiony, I don't know what, all the best thing put together becomes the best bed. That Adisesha, and he's sleeping there. What does it mean? Narayana cannot be Adisesha, because Narayana, Brahman, is above Sishyas, above sadhanas, above everything. Therefore, Adisesha has to be the snake god only. It cannot be Narayana. Because somebody has done a discipline and deserved that position. It's a status you get. It's a status. It's a position that you get to be in the close proximity with Narayana because of the seva. It's a status that you get. Mala. It's a special category status. Yeah. Dwarapalaka is one status. Yeah. Dwarapalaka is one status. அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒரு ஸ்டேட்டஸ், அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒரு ஸ்டேட்டஸ் இல்லையா? சாலோக்கிய, சாமீப்ய, சாரூப்ய, சாயுஜ்ய. You can live in the same loka like God. That is salokya. Where God is, you can be a citizen in the same country. That's all. Yeah. Salokya. Then comes samipya. You are closer to God in the same loka. And then comes sarupya. Sarupya means path nerla. Yeah. Always you can keep seeing. Always you can keep seeing the God. That's what that Alvar sang, no? Let me be the step in the temple, he said. Yeah, and that what do you want to become? He said, I want to be that stone, that stone step in the temple, because I can keep seeing you all the time. Wow, I love that song so much. Beautiful song is what a devotion, what a bhakti it is to be that. Then comes the merger, Sayujyam. What is Sayujyam? It should not be two anymore. It should not be two anymore. The two should become one in such a way that you will never know who is what. Yeah. That's why Sayujyam is Apuryamanam Achala Pratishtam, river entering the ocean. When it enters the ocean, you will never know who is where, what is where. You will never know. You will never know where is Brahmaputra. You will never know where is Ganges. You will never know where is ocean. Everything becomes one. Yeah. Therefore, it's a special status that you get. Adisesha is a special status. What is a special status? Something he has done to deserve that status. We don't know what that person has done to deserve that status. Where God is resting. Yeah, resting place it is. God comes to rest, get up, does all the work, and comes back and rest. What a wonderful thing it is. Adisesha, Narayana. So Narayana he does. With this, we conclude, and we'll continue later.